So last time we talked a little bit about feelings and happy feelings, unhappy feelings, pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and we did mostly about unpleasant ones. So I wanted to do pleasant ones today, and again to remark that there's different kinds of pleasant feelings, and some of them can arise due to having a virtuous mental state and also lead to a virtuous mental state, and others of them arise due to contacting an object of attachment and lead to cultivating attachment. So we have to be able to see the difference between these different kinds of pleasant feelings or happy feelings in ourselves. Yeah. Because we all want to be happy, but if one kind of happy feeling is going to make us generate afflictions that will create karma that lead us to worse suffering and keep us bound in samsara, then we can't stop those happy feelings, but we can stop the arisal of attachment in response to them. Okay? So, for example, when there's some nice sense experience, you're lying on the beach, which we never do, but you dream of lying on the beach. Yeah. It's one thing you renounce when you become a nun. Yeah. So some kind of sense pleasure that you have, good food or nice music or whatever, pleasant feelings arise just from the sense contact. But then, and when we aren't mindful, then immediately we go to attachment of, I want more, and where did you get this, and how can I have it, and and so on and so forth, which keeps us quite bound and quite limited in our life experience. We get attached to our reputation. We want to hear sweet words. We want people to say nice things about us. When they do, it's like, oh, when we get recognized by somebody that we respect, oh, we feel so happy, we feel so good. Yeah. So there's that kind of thing, or when people praise us or whatever. And again, due to, attachment to praise, attachment to reputation, to image, to our own self-image even, then that kind of afflicted, happy feeling arises that leads to attachment. Yeah. But then there's a kind of happy feeling that arises when you practice the Dharma too. Yeah, and I'm sure you've all had that experience while doing the retreat. Like when you've, done a meditation at the end, you feel very tranquil, very peaceful. Or in a meditation, maybe you were doing some analytic meditation on the Lam Rim, and something really clicked, and you really got it, and it's like, oh, then that can bring a certain kind of pleasant feeling in your mind. When you're meditating on refuge or on precious human life, there's a happy feeling that arises. Yeah, many times if you meditate on love for other sentient beings, there's a pleasant feeling. So those are all pleasant feelings that come because your mind is in virtue. Yeah, and so what you want to do when you have those kind of pleasant feelings, which also may arise when you visualize Chenrezig or Vajrasattva or whatever. There's a certain, happiness and peacefulness and pleasantness that comes with that. Then don't try and recreate those feelings, because that means that we're kind of getting attached to them. Yeah, trying to recreate them. Just rejoice that you had them and continue doing your practice with a virtuous motivation, and then that automatically creates the cause sometime in the future for those happy feelings to come again. And for the, So use those happy feelings to create more virtue. Yeah, I was thinking, like, sometimes when we do the meditation on the kindness of sentient beings, there's a certain feeling you get of, wow, where you're thinking, wow, I've been the recipient of a tremendous amount of kindness in my life, and I'm very grateful, and there's a happy feeling that comes from that. So when you have that happy feeling, then you can focus on it in your meditation, but then also imagine giving that away to all the other sentient beings. Yeah. So when you have a good experience in your meditation, instead of, I had a good experience, just rejoice, but give that away to all the other sentient beings who at this moment are not understanding what you've come to understand through your practice. Yeah. And so share that, and in that way you generate more virtue by practicing generosity. Okay? So, for the kind of pleasant feelings that come from objects of attachment and lead to non-virtue, there you want to apply the antidotes, such as meditation on impermanence, or the disadvantages of attachment, the defects of cyclic existence, for the happy feelings that arise because you've been meditating on precious human life, or the qualities of the three jewels, or you have an especially close feeling with the deity today, or where you've done posada, our confession, and you've really confessed something and gotten it off your mind. You're not holding it in or concealing it or justifying it. There's a certain pleasant feeling, happy feeling that comes from that, then to really rejoice at that and encourage yourself and share that pleasant feeling with other living beings.